Dr. Mahathir Mohamad has poured cold water on parties scrambling to name their Prime Minister candidates. He said, without securing a simple majority in Parliament, the talk is meaningless. In a post on his social media accounts, the former Prime Minister pointed out that no candidate can become Prime Minister without first winning 112 seats. Mahathir stressed that it's not just about fielding enough candidates, it's also about beating rivals from other parties in the seats. He said it was impossible for any single party to win them. Though he didn't mention any names, his comments came right after Bersatu's AGM on September 7th. During the AGM, Bersatu had nominated Muhyiddin as the party's candidate for the 11th Prime Minister, a move which has led to brickbats from PAS. Earlier, PAS spiritual leader Hashim Jassin reminded Bersatu to be cautious and to seek consensus within Perikatan Nasional before making such announcements. Parliament has 222 seats, and a coalition needs 112 seats to secure a simple majority to form the government. A former aide to Muhyiddin has responded to PAS election director Sanusi Noor on the topic of election spending. In a post on Facebook today, Marzuki Muhammad claimed that during GE15, PAS did not face major problems on the topic. He said that when they contested under the PN logo, all election materials bearing the PN logo were supplied by PN. According to him, these expenses were in fact borne entirely by Bersatu, and the party had also given PAS significant financial contributions. As a result, he said PAS won 43 parliamentary seats, which is the largest number in the party's 70-year history in Malaysian politics. He added that this is the reality of the material and financial assistance provided by Bersatu to PAS, which he believes Sanusi himself knows. He also broke down the expenses which political parties have to incur when contesting, from printing flags, posters, banners, and billboards, to producing items such as caps, t-shirt, flagpoles, as well as transport to ferry voters, among others. He said elections are costly, and whatever the party, these are unavoidable expenses. Previously, in his winding-up speech at the 71st PAS Muktamar in Kedah, Sanusi had said that the party had to fork out a huge sum to cover election costs, whereas there were allies who came to contest with empty hands. He said they did not have the machinery, they did not have money. Everything they did depended on PAS, but they want to be the leader. It is believed that Sanusi's criticism was aimed at Bersatu, which had contested in the GE15 alongside PAS. Bersatu believes that it is necessary to showcase a poster boy for the 16th general election. This is so that the public can assess their candidate for the Prime Minister position. According to Bersatu Information Chief Tun Faisal Ismail Aziz, this was why the party had named its president, Muhyiddin as Bersatu's poster boy for Perikatan Nasional's consideration. In an interview with Malaysia Kini, he said they felt that it would be good to let the people evaluate, debate, and give their views. He said the situation may differ for other parties, but for Bersatu, it was the best time to name their candidate. At its AGM on September 7th, Bersatu had officially named Muhyiddin as its candidate for Malaysia's 11th Prime Minister. The Assembly also expressed full support for Muhyiddin's leadership as Bersatu President and to strengthen the party's election machinery. However, the move differs from its fellow PN party, PAS. PAS had rejected a poster boy trend, citing how the appointment of a Prime Minister ultimately lies with the Yang di-Pertuan Agong. PAS Deputy President Tuan Ibrahim Tuan Man argued that anyone showcased as a PM candidate will face heavy political attacks. He said in PAS, there are many figures qualified to become the Prime Minister, but in Malaysia, once you name someone, they will become a target.
From now on, you can also listen to Kini News on Spotify and Apple Podcasts. Scan the QR code on the screen to follow us.
Investigations are still ongoing into the August 13th assault on former Economy Minister Rafizi Ramli's son in Putrajaya. According to the New Straits Times, Inspector General of Police Khalid Ismail said that police had secured CCTV footage of the attack, but the quality of the recording is poor. He said that they have identified a few individuals from the CCTV footage, but the footage isn't very clear, and their identities cannot be ascertained. He added that the hospital is still assessing the contents of the syringe Rafizi's son was stabbed with during the attack at a car park of a shopping mall in Putrajaya. On August 22nd, Khalid said the police had recorded statements from 19 people, including Rafizi's family members. He added that they were waiting on a chemical report from the hospital for details on the fluid that was injected into the PKR MP's son. Rafizi had recently told Malaysia Kini that there have been no new developments from the police on the attack, noting that he plans to press the authorities for an update. The Court of Appeal has dismissed Rosmah Mansour's appeal to recuse the High Court judge who presided over her corruption trial involving the 1.25 billion ringgit solar hybrid project in Sarawak. Rosmah had appealed against the decision by the then High Court Judge Zaini Mazlan, who dismissed her application for his recusal in 2022. A panel of 3 judges, led by Zaidi Ibrahim, ruled this morning that there is no merit in Rosmah's contention to support her appeal. Zaidi said they found that the judge was not wrong in dismissing her recusal application at the material time. He added that Rosmah has also failed to prove the existence of a real danger of bias as contended in her recusal bid as well as her appeal. This, he said, is because the documents in the matter were significantly different from Zaini's actual judgment that convicted Rosmah of corruption charges. Rosmah had filed her recusal application together with a notice of urgency on August 30, 2022. The application was filed following a leak of a document allegedly written by the Kuala Lumpur High Court Research Unit regarding her solar case, where she claimed there is a real danger of bias if Zaini did not recuse himself, and that she had lost faith in him following the leak. On September 1st, Rosmah was convicted on 3 graft charges and sentenced to 10 years in jail and a 970 million ringgit fine. She was granted a stay of execution, pending her appeal against Zaini's decision. Meanwhile, Rosmah's counsel confirmed to reporters after proceedings that they will be appealing against today's decision. MCA President Wee Ka Siong has shared how a top scorer from the matriculation program is allegedly facing the same dilemma as STPM high achiever Edward Wong. The student, who was referred to only as Lee in Wee's Facebook post yesterday, was allegedly denied a place in a law program. Instead, the Centralized Public University Admission System, or UPU system, assigned her to her fourth choice, accounting. He said he was told by the teenager that she had been shortlisted for interviews with her top 3 choices, UM, UKM, and UUM. We added that only these 3 universities admit non-Bumiputra students to their law degree programs. However, we said that when the UPU results were released, the system selected Lee's fourth choice and gave her a seat at University Putra Malaysia. According to Wee, she had listed accounting as only her fourth choice simply to meet the requirements of filling 12 options in the UPU application. Wee said that Lee, who comes from an economically disadvantaged background, did not want to burden her family and was considering resigning herself to her fate by giving up on law. Lee's story, he added, was not hers alone, but belongs to every hardworking student in Malaysia who dares to dream. He said it's about fairness, about justice, about the promise owed to the youth. He added that education must be a fair playing field in this country, and if our system is broken, then it must be fixed.